How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in our video, and welcome to another Detroit Lions 2024 NFL Draft Preview. So in the last draft preview, we took a look at the top Day 3 running back prospects in rounds 4 through 7 of the 2024 NFL Draft class. And in this one, we're going to wrap up the wide receivers draft class in this one and take a look at the top Day 3 wide receivers in rounds 4 through 7 of the 2024 NFL Draft class. And of course, taking a wide receiver at Day 3 has been pretty kind to the Lions, because Day 3, that was where the Lions found Amon-Ra St. Brown. And of course, with Amon-Ra, he's easily one of the best players on the Lions roster right now. So, yeah, Brad Holmes has had a thing for finding receivers in the late rounds too, and some more late round gems as well. And honestly, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's more evidence about how the draft is a total crapshoot, and that you can find talent anywhere in the draft if you have the right people calling the shots. But anyway, let's take a look at some of these wide receiver prospects and see who the Lions should keep an eye on in Day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft. So let's go. So the first player we're going to go over in this video, we have hailing out of Alabama, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 194 pounds. We got Jermaine Burton. So for Jermaine's strengths, crisp routes marked by lightning fast change of direction, especially prevailed on comeback routes where he breaks away from the corners and does not fear at all in terms of top speed. Very quick feet, keeps corners from closing the gap, opens his hips well, can find the ball, good control of the body, agile, can utilize fakes well, can get opportunities to run after the catch, smart creator, can find soft spots in zone to beat coverage and make receptions, strong vertical speed. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's one-dimensional deep threat, was not given many opportunities in the short game, may need to be trained up at the next level, needs to diversify his route tree, doesn't do well with contested catches, seems to lack the physicality to go up and climb at the catch point. He loses ball tracking ability in these situations, sometimes he gets distracted by coverage and falls out of the play. Has a red flag incident where he smashed a fan leaving the stadium. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired wide receiver Marquise Lee. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game, but it seems to be more of a deep threat, in which we already have J-Mo for that. But, maybe he could offer something on special teams, maybe. Maybe something to keep an eye on for special teams. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Florida State, standing 6'6", weighing 237 pounds, we got Johnny Wilson. So for Johnny, he's a prototype blocking wide receiver because he's a gifted athlete with astounding frame for the position at 6'6", 237, having 35-inch arms. And his natural tools make him a nightmare for defenders to deal with in the run game. In terms of strength, he's the classic sample you can't teach size. Tall as a tight end, but plays a wide receiver. Makes long strides, glides down the field. Coaches may lick their lips at developing a receiver like that. He has the potential as a goal line G-code if he can clean up. Initial quick out of the release, can usually get some initial space if the opposing corner is playing off man and give him a cushion. Stellar blocker because he's built like a tight end. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he can't catch the ball consistently. Has a huge frame, yet is unable to make contested catches in big situations, especially in the red zone. He'll get eaten up by press coverage despite being bigger than every defender he faces. He gives up his inside space too easily, lets guys in front of him, most clunkily and upright because he's so tall. Not particularly fast, more of a long strider. Doesn't finish his routes at times, which could result in catching issues. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to a now retired wide receiver with Darius Green. Overall, there's quite a few things to like out of his game, especially the size too. I mean, if he can get some speed and clean some stuff up and get some contested catches, I think this is definitely a big body receiver the Lions truly need right here. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Louisville, standing 6 feet tall, weighed 185 pounds. We got Jamari Thrash. So for Jamari strengths, he won't shy away from underthrown passes or put himself in danger. Presents diverse release package, fleet footness to threaten NFL corners with it. Immediately reorientates upfield after a catch. Wastes no movement with the ball in his hands. He's an elusive runner that made Georgia Tech's defense miss plenty after the catch, if you want to watch some tape there. Traits to test the potential role as a punt returner. Hand catcher, frames the ball well. Moves like a point guard when he changes directions or works side to side. Vision as the ball carrier is excellent, able to track the ball over his shoulders without slowing down or turning. Aggressive blocker will put his body in the way and stay engaged through reps. He's also been listed as one of the top sleeper picks in this draft class because he's a nifty route runner with a type of quickness and body control to make plays from the slot. He's also the type of receiver that can take off early while bigger names get off to a slow start. In terms of his weaknesses, though, Small catch radius gives him trouble when dealing with contested situations. Lacks the type of size to be an impact player in the red zone. All finesse players who will take his lumps when corners can put their hands on him and redirect. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to Kyle Phillips of the Tennessee Titans. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. I think definitely there's some potential here as a punt returner for sure, or on special teams. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of USC, standing 6'3", weighing 210 pounds. We got Brendan Rice. If for anyone wondering, yes, he is indeed the son of NFL Hall of Famer Jerry Rice, a.k.a. the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. We'll talk about that later. In terms of Brendan's strengths, for a big receiver, he possesses light feet, uses the tap into and out of his routes effectively, creates space for his quarterback to attack. He varies his speed off the snap, showing enough giddy up to be a true vertical threat. He shows impressive body control, spatial awareness, tight roping at the sideline and around the pylon. Like the legend whose last name he shares, he's QB friendly, cutting off his routes when he recognized Caleb Williams was going off script and adjusting on the fly for any tape you want to watch there. Shows vision and awareness of defenders around him. Good build-up space for his size. It can complement his prototypical bulk with a strong stiff arm to ward off a lot of tackles. And keeps his legs driving through contact to maximize the yardage gain. He's got strong, reliable hands, the body armor and toughness to take a big hit and hang on. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's perceived by some to be a bit of a one-year wonder who exploded into a wide receiver-friendly offense led by a QB who might just be more accurate than the one who will be starting for his future NFL team. Saw a lot of single coverage with big play opportunities. Schemed up for him, can pinpoint passes delivered. Like a lot of tall receivers, he's much better moving north and south than east and west. Lacks the sudden lateral agility diluted tight quarters. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Allen Robinson of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game, and he can make adjustments in case the QB is going to throw off angle. Definitely a lot to like out of Brendan Rice for sure. But regardless of where Brendan goes, he'll have a lot of expectations by default just because of who his dad is. And can he make his own legacy, or will he forever live in his dad, Jerry Rice's shadow, which is quite a shadow to live in, considering his dad is literally the greatest NFL receiver of all time. And also, let me just check my notes here. Yeah, Jerry Rice is still better than Randy Moss. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Virginia, standing 5'8", weighing 194 pounds. He got Malik Washington. So for Malik's strengths, gliding runner, smooth agility, allows him to make defenders miss after the catch. Good explosive off the line, usually able to get initial step when given the opportunity at a release. Rarely drops a pass, doesn't take the easy way out, uses his body to secure the ball. Has returning experience that help build his field vision and to get the goal line efficiency. Good contact balance, doesn't generally go down on first touch, and he bounces off tackles. In terms of his weaknesses, though, height and weight will force him into a projection that's slot only, and a lot of the little guys who find success in the NFL these days, like the Wan'Dale Robinsons and all that, looked a few ticks faster on game film. He has good speed, doesn't necessarily have those burners, and really only seems like he can cook in short yardage. He gets stuck in physical coverage, lacks the length to fight back, separate from guys who keep their hands in a flexion position. He has small arms, even for a slot receiver, which limits the teams willing to pick him. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Sterling Shepard of the New York Giants. Overall, there's some potential out of him for sure. I think there's definitely some potential on special teams for sure with his special teams experience. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Florida, standing 6'1", weighing 190 pounds, we got Ricky Pearsall. So for Ricky's strengths, excellent ball tracking ability, able to adjust the throws, can get in the position to make moves after the catch. Puts in the work as a downfield blocker for running backs and other receivers, willing to play to the whistle in that regard. Has good instincts for finding soft spots in zone, able to manipulate the defense to get open, suggesting high football IQ. Has a couple moves that he can chain together down the field, can get free. Initial burst out of release is mediocre. In terms of weaknesses, initial burst out of release is mediocre at best. Makes a lot of wasted motion in an attempt to get around the corner. That results in him being behind on his routes. Foot speed's only fair. Corners are able to keep pace with him down the route. If they stay on him and he's not strong enough to break free from arm tackles, not natural separator physical coverage situations, relies more on his routes and instincts, doesn't execute contested catches well. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired wide receiver Riley Ridley. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game for sure. Maybe still want to keep an eye on here for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Texas A&M, standing 5'10", weighing 200 pounds. We got Anus Smith. So for Anus' strengths, great vertical speed, agility, allows him to potentially be a one-cut and off-the-race type of player. Versatility will appeal to teams who could use him as a weapon, similar to Deebo Samuel, with more speed and less bulk. Return specialist skills translate to the passing game, able to make the most of his receptions with great field vision, maneuverability. Experience as a running back clearly helps him as a blocker. Consistently the best non-lineman on the field when he takes on defensive backs and delayed blitzers. Terms his weaknesses, though, route running could use some work. He gets out of his breaks well, but seemed to create miscommunication with his QB. He's sort of a backyard ball approach to his routes. Hard time pulling balls into his chest that aren't thrown to exactly the right spot. Limited catch radius due to a small arm. Showed limited play strength and contact balance. Goes down one touch. Doesn't handle contested catch situations well. He may project as slot exclusive in the league. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Devin Duvernay of the Baltimore Ravens. Overall, quite a lot that he offers in this game for sure. I think there's definitely potential with him at potentially special teams as a returner. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of UCF, standing 6'1", weighing 208 pounds, we got Javon Baker. So for Javon's strengths, huge effort player, gets physical in all aspects of the game, likes to fight through routes, get up and over a corner at the catch point, seems to enjoy the contested catch, often wins the battle. Shows flashes of great adjustability and body control. He's able to track the ball well, knows where he needs to position his hands in order to make reception. Long arms, which allows him to make the jump ball easier, can give some leeway to the QB in terms of ball placement. Plays bigger than he is. In terms of his weaknesses, though, limited long speed is going to diminish his upside. It seems like he had a hard time separating initially. Reduced its usefulness. Doesn't seem particularly agile or shifty. More of a straight line runner. Doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle to get defenders off him in pursuit. Would have benefited from more diverse route tree at UCF. Gets himself into trouble embracing contact. Could stand to build more elusive traits. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Marquise Callaway of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Overall, quite a lot to like out of his game for sure. I think this is definitely someone to keep an eye on for developing down the line. Maybe even put him on special teams. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out Tulane, standing 5'10", weighing 185 pounds. We got Jaquan Jackson. So for Jaquan's strengths, lightning to the bottle athlete, quickness, acceleration to shake himself free against sticky man coverage. Dangerous after the catch, shows both elusiveness and the vision to set up blocks and wind through the lane. Impressive stop-start quickness, accelerates like a sports car, can lead defenders in the dust. Shown great toughness, can play through pain, has been publicly praised by the Tulane coaching staff for his work ethic and toughness. Quality punt returner with the second longest punt in school history, return an NFL hit in school history when he had a return of 90 yards for TD against Memphis in 2022 for some tape there. Also has NFL bloodlines as he's the nephew of Hall of Fame safety Ed Reed. So yeah, definitely some big shoes to fill there. In terms of his weaknesses though, undersized, injury-prone, requiring a thorough medical evaluation at the combine after he sustained multiple injuries dating back to high school that required surgery. Currently more of a gadget player than a true every-down NFL receiver. Lacks ideal size, experience running the full route tree. Wows the ball into his chest too often with some ugly drops that bounce off his pads. Diminutive frame limits what routes he'll see in the NFL as well. Leaves little room for QBs to fit the ball to him over the top. Too willing to sacrifice yardage by reversing course. Travels east to west. Elusive but not particularly strong. Too easily knocked to the ground by arm tackles. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Richie James of the Kansas City Chiefs. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game for sure. The injury history, though, kind of a red flag, though. But, Lions seem to have a knack of taking some injury-prone players and taking chances, I think definitely something with him for sure as a special teamer if you want to try and limit the injuries possibly. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Arizona, standing 5'9", weighing 175 pounds, we got Jacob Cowling. So for Jacob's strengths, initial burst off the line strong. Electric speed allows him to quickly separate, can work in open space, zips around the field, very elusive. Run after catch skills create home run potential on any given play. Great footwork at the steam of the route, allows for acrobatic catches. Rare small receiver that can be trusted with making plays that require manipulation of his catch radius. Makes tight jukes a part of his game, gets in and out of breaks without making contact with defenders. In terms of his weaknesses though, slight frame, it may limit him to the slot. Physical catch radius is limited even if it's helped by body control. Has noticeably difficult games against larger corners like Samaya Fawn, who fought into his body and kept him from using his speed to escape if you don't watch some tape there. While play strength's good for his size, still below average for the NFL, could limit him as an after-catch runner at the next level if his contact balance is not improved. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Demario Douglas of the New England Patriots. Overall, well, I think it's the light guy of his game, but, the size limitation could limit his role. I don't know, maybe there's some potential for him at special teams, possibly. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Illinois, standing 5'10", weighing 180 pounds. We got Isaiah Williams. So for Isaiah's strength, great initial burst, explodes off the line, and if he's releases clean, he's able to get ahead of corners and use quality leverage, can stay a step ahead. Good at maneuvering his way down the field. He cooks after the catch because of his agility. Able to change direction, can manipulate defenders with his eyes, can get away from the pursuit. Might have developed this trait thanks to his QB experience at Illinois when he first got there. Great vision down the field, can find the best route of release resistance, and has returning experience on special teams. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's small in height and weight. Probably projects as a slot-only guy at the next level. Doesn't do well against physical coverage. Struggles to get around a corner who is attempting to jam him up, resulting in most of his work being done in a short game. Rarely operates deep routes, even though he does have the speed for it, and he has some trouble tracking the ball down the field. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Braxton Berrios and the Miami Dolphins. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game, especially with his speed, and he can get off very quickly with there if everything goes right and the perfect storm plays out. Definitely I think has some potential on punt and kick return. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Texas, standing 6'1", weighing 204 pounds. We got Jordan Whittington. So for Jordan's strengths, odds are our team can find a way to get him on the field. He's a strong blocker, helped by his initial running back experience. Easy to visualize a role for him on special teams. Added physical element to the Longhorns offense this year, carried himself well after the catch. He'll power through guys, can generate extra yardage, puts in the work at the top of the route, can gain leverage. Drop weights, roll thanks to his sticky hands and his lacks the ball security problems. In terms of his weaknesses, though, average speed for a prospect, it doesn't allow him to make consistent separation, results in a lower target share. Route running's mostly middling. He's able to carry guys through the route. Operating over the middle, shaking guys is difficult. Impeded by his limited lateral agility and often wastes his energy trying to work through guys instead of getting away from them in the first place. Not the type to take the path of least resistance. In his injury history, it may frighten some teams. And in terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Tim Jones of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Overall, a lot of things he brings to the table, especially in blocking, which could help in the run game. I think definitely there's some potential with him on special teams as a kicker, punt returner. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Rice, standing 6'2", weighing 195 pounds. We got Luke McCaffrey. And for anybody wondering, yes, he is indeed the younger brother to NFL running back with the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey. So in terms of Luke's strengths, given how little he's played receiver, his comfort at a position stands out with his understanding of the offense. Cleared from his time at QB. Sharp route runner, can create separation to steam, shows no fear across in the middle. Extends his arms wide, can snatch balls out of the air. Exposes his body to big hits, almost like a corner. He competes on contested balls until the whistle is blown, wrestles away potential interceptions. Shows impressive focus through contact, can make the tough grab look routine. He isn't a true vertical threat, but he accelerates quickly, wastes no time in getting north and south. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's more smooth than sudden, lacks a breakaway element, isn't the most elusive receiver after the catch, shows limited wiggle to create on his own, extends well to make difficult grabs, but actually has below average arm length that measured at 29 7/8 of an inch for his height. So he lined up outside roughly a third of the time. He was most effective inside at slot. Wasn't asked to play much on special teams and couldn't gain nastiness as a run blocker. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Justin Watson, the Kansas City Chiefs. Overall, quite a lot to like out of his game for sure. And regardless of where he goes, he has some big shoes to fill, considering who his brother is in Christian and how much of and can Luke make his own legacy, or will he forever live in Christian's shadow? And considering how great Christian has been in the NFL, that's quite a shadow to be behind. But, maybe some potential at special teams, maybe, if he can get some experience there. And the final receiver, the final player we're going to talk about in this video, we have hailing out of Georgia, standing 6'1", weighing 195 pounds. We got Marcus Rosemy Jack Saint. Silver Marcus' strength, good play strength, works through press coverage pretty well. Fights hard to catch point, able to leap over defensive backs effectively, muscled up off her body, allows his hands to fight, gains an advantage against physical corner defensive backs. Good enough speed, allows him to keep pace, fine work in the intermediate game, plays over the field well enough, can operate at all levels on the field without issue. In terms of weaknesses, though, routes are rounded, slow on the vertical, doesn't get in and out of breaks with quickness, too willing to engage contact, try to go through defenders instead of around them, rarely reaches a second gear after his initial burst. As a result, his ability to be a deep threat is challenged. Probably going to have a limited depth to target his ceiling at the next level, which will limit his rotational role. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired wide receiver Damian Ratley. Overall, a lot to like out of his game. Great play strength, all that. Does a lot of things right. Maybe someone that's a rotational receiver on certain downs, maybe. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here for this Detroit Lions 2024 NFL Draft Preview. So yeah, quite a few interesting prospects to keep an eye on in this class for sure. Especially a lot that have some pretty big shoes to fill considering who their family is, from Brennan Rice, and all that. And Luke McCaffrey, definitely some interesting prospects to keep an eye on for sure, especially some big body receivers. Which the Lions definitely need that can bully defensive backs and be physical. And also a lot that can offer some versatility at kick and punt return, especially with the NFL's new kickoff rules. And for anyone wondering what those kickoff rules are living under a rock, don't worry. I am going to address that in the Detroit Lions free agency offseason recap right at the beginning, when I go over first all the new rules that came into the NFL this season. Since I am doing a Lions free agency recap this week, probably by Friday I'll have it out. But anyway, though, that will be for later on this week, and that wraps it up for this receiver preview for the receiver draft class. So yeah, definitely some interesting names to keep an eye on here. Question is, will the Lions go on day 1? Will they go day 3, day 2? I don't know. We'll have to just let Brad Holmes cook and figure it out and see for ourselves. As yeah, we're close to the draft because as of recording this video, we're now officially 23 days away from the NFL draft. So yeah, just over 3 weeks away. Looking forward to it. But yeah, in the next NFL draft preview, we're going to take a look at the top day 3 tight end prospects in the draft class. So yeah, that'll be next time. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Hope everyone's a great day, and I'll see you all whatever I make next. I'm out.